Hello everybody, this is Coach Tara Woodruff, the Mind Reset Coach, coming to you today from my home office here in Holiday, Florida, with another Tao of Network Marketing. Now the purpose of this blog series and this video series is to really help entrepreneurs, network marketers in particular, but this could be applied to any entrepreneur, really bring a bit of spirituality into their business so that they can see more success. So today's verse is verse 23. I'm really excited about this because it applies to both the highs and lows of your business. And I'm going to go ahead and dig right in. I got to put my spectacles on because it's nighttime and I can only read without spectacles in the daylight outside. So far, until I fix that. So let me go ahead and start. Okay, verse 23. To talk little is natural. Fierce winds do not blow all morning. A downpour of rain does not last all day. Who does this? Heaven and earth. But these are exaggerated forced effects. And that's why they cannot be sustained. If heaven and earth cannot sustain a forced action, how much less is a man able to? Those who follow the way become one with the way. Those who follow goodness become one with goodness. Those who stray from the way and goodness become one with failure. If you conform to the way, its power flows through you. Your actions become those of nature, your ways those of heaven. Open yourself to the Tao and trust your natural processes. And trust your natural responses. I wanted to say processes. And then everything will fall into place. This is so powerful because, you know, in network marketing, you're going to have some times where things are going to be hard. Like we discussed in the verse 22. You want to be really strong, have deep roots like a palm tree so that you can sustain strong winds. But there's something you need to know. There's hope. The bad times can't last. The struggle doesn't last. Just like the really high moments in your career in network marketing won't last either. They won't last that long. They might go for a season. They may go for 90 days. They might go for a month. But you're going to have off times. And it's okay because the off times can't sustain, just like the winds of powerful times can't sustain as well. What is really important for you in your network marketing business is to just become part of the natural flow and allow it. So you notice when you're on downtime, you work really hard during that downtime. That's when you really buckle in, and that's when you really start learning as much as you can and tweaking things and split testing your ideas and doing different content than you normally would. Hello, frog. And all those different things, you know, you really get into it and you'll find your flow back going up one more time. And while you're up there, you continue to tweak and you continue to thrive and you continue to grow. And you continue, and you continue, and you continue until the downtime. And there's nothing wrong with being in either place, you know. There is no glory in poverty. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's okay to be failing at your business. No, it's not okay to be failing at your business. You're here to either replace an income or to pay your bills. Maybe you've already left your job, and you don't want to go through what I went through for that year, you know. And really just being in a place of resistance and constantly seeing contrast, and that wasn't any fun. It was a really big part of my experience though, and I no longer have anxiety about it. I used to think about it and get upset. You know, it's okay, but that doesn't mean you have to go there. You don't have to go all the way to rock bottom. What you need to do is be in the flow. See, if I was in the flow during that time instead of just holding on to that resistance, I would have come out of that much faster. So that's good news. Your hard times, yes, they may seem really tough. You know, maybe you're not getting a lot of leads. Maybe not a lot of people are signing up. You know, I have a really big goal for this month, and we're coming up to the middle of the month. And I haven't even begun to chip away at that goal yet. However, I am chipping away. There's something amazing that happened today. I went to my Facebook fan page to interact with people that interact on my page. You know, you want to make sure that you're interacting. And I looked and I was like, there's something wrong with that. What's going on there? I have 0 promoted posts, 0 boosted posts. The last ad I tried to place, they denied, and I fought them on it, and they didn't go ahead and let me have it. So I said, well, I'll just wait. You know, maybe it's just not time for that. And I just decided to continue going into my work, continue studying the Tao and applying it into my life. And then I got the .com Secrets book and applying that into my blogging and helping people understand all sorts of different things. And I didn't notice this today until about, I don't know, 2 hours ago maybe. I have about a little over 4,000 people that liked my page. And I have a lot of interaction on my blog posts. And I'm loving my job. I'm loving what I'm doing. And I'm excited about it. And I go to the fan page and I look over, and you know that little strip where it says, new likes, post reached this week, and how many people have gone to your call to action? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the post reach was over 14,000 people. I've never, not even when I was promoting a post, ever had that kind of reach before. The best I've ever done with a promoted post is doubled, I believe. I believe it's doubled my post reach. Doubled, the amount of fans I have in post reach. That's 3 times the amount of fans I have. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the sign. I am working and moving into my upswing, and it's becoming obvious. And that little tiny thing there is showing me people are watching. Today I went to a very famous person, a very famous marketer, their blog. I got an email, and I get an email probably 2 or 3 times a week from them, and they do a video and a blog, and that's their schedule. And in the meantime, the rest of their business has to do with meeting with clients and so forth like that. So that, I don't really meet with very many. I'm called Coach Tara, but I don't have any clients right now, and so I don't have a lot of that time is not being taken up. But they're very good at what they do, and I really enjoy their style and everything about them. So I said, well, I have some time right now. Let me go learn a little bit. And it was just about how they were at a certain point in their career when they were just starting to become a coach, and all the pieces in their life weren't fitting together yet. They still worked at night as a bartender, and then we had a couple clients, and they really desperately wanted to work on their elevator speech. So when people said, well, what is it you do? That they could say, I am an amazing coach and I help people reach success, whatever it is that they wanted for an elevator speech. And they were talking about how they walked with their spouse on the beach and they would cry about not being able to put that together. And one really great advice that she got at that time, I'm trying not to tell you who it is, so I'm just going to say that, okay, was, don't worry about the speech, enjoy the beach. And once they decided to start talking about their walks on the beach with their spouse, instead of worrying about labeling themselves and painting themselves into a picture, and stop worrying about the fact that they were still bartending at night part-time to get the bills paid, everything started to flow together just right. So they were they were kind of in an upswing, but they had a lot of self-doubt and thought they had to have this elevator speech. And I do know the importance of it. However, don't get hung up on that. Just start expressing who you really truly are, and start being really who you truly are, and go with the flow. Stretch yourself and learn. When you're having a downtime, that means it's time for you to learn more. I recently had somebody message me, I'll get back involved with your blog syndication group. I just haven't had anything to write. And I immediately knew that they just hadn't learned anything new in a while. Because I always have something to write about. I always have content ready to go because I've got my face in 2 different books at all times. And I want to share with you what I learn. I'm on webinars, and I'm always learning, taking little notes, and my pages fill up even when I'm watching TV. Because about 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll turn on like an HBO show, like I do like HBO shows or Netflix. I don't watch regular TV and sit in the living room and waste any time like that. However, I do enjoy being entertained. When I'm watching a TV show, if there's something really profound that's said in the script, I'll write it down. And I'll extrapolate on that. One particular show that gets me thinking really hard is that Kevin Spacey show, that political drama. I can't even remember the name of it. It doesn't even matter. But it always, I'm always learning. I'm always looking for something to be teaching me. When I go sit outside in the morning and listen to the birds and get eaten by the mosquitoes, and I'm always looking for a lesson in everything, so that maybe there'll be something in there that I can write to you about that I could teach other people about that aren't having my experience right now. Maybe they're just looking for network marketing and they want to know that they can go and they can learn things and they could find success. That they can be themselves spiritually in their business and not just be about money. Because if you really look at all the big guys, it's not about money. It's about what money can do for them. Money's a tool. So let me get back into the verse and what some of the stuff that Wayne Dyer said here. I have a couple of things underlined and one thing circled. So let me go ahead and share with you that. Here's an entire paragraph by Wayne Dyer in the book, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. There is a banner right on my blog. If you haven't got the book, click on it and go get it. Nature doesn't have to insist, push, or force anything. After all, storms don't last forever. Winds blow hard, but then they subside. The Tao creates from an eternal perspective, but everything is on its return trip home the moment it comes into being. So Lao Tzu instructs that if you live harmoniously with the simple principle, you will be in tune with nature. Let go of desire to force anyone or anything and choose instead to consciously be part of the cyclical pattern of nature. Lao Tzu reminds you that not even heaven can sustain a forced action. It is inherent beingness. All action has temporary existence and returns to a calmer state. In contemporary language, we can say, everything just blows over. So keep that in mind when you're working in your business and you're either feeling super duper amount of stress or you're feeling like you're just not getting there or you're not sure if your blogs are making a difference. I'm going to return back to the blog post that I read today. It was a really great blog post. So I decided I was going to start looking at some of the comments and interact with that person's community a little bit because I really like her. So she attracts really great people, and those are kind of like the avatars I'm looking for. And anybody that knew that to put their website, you have your name, email, and your website when you leave a comment on a blog, I click through and look at the websites. What I was absolutely floored about, I got through about 50 websites. And I could not believe there was only one website that had any social sharing on it at all and any comments at all. 99%, so about 48 of those 50 websites I visited today had 0 people interacting on these websites, on their blog posts, on the websites. There were no comments. There were no social shares. You know how the social share shows that there was nothing happening. And I asked myself, well, what has been taught to them that has got them in the position where their valuable content, a lot of it was pretty good, isn't getting out there? Did no one teach them that they actually have to share it themselves first? Did no one teach them this? And then I thought to myself, I have a really huge fucking market to work with. I have a humongous amount of people that have valuable services and products to sell that aren't doing it right yet. They've got all the little subscription boxes all over and the little share buttons. They got all that stuff going on. I would say another 10% didn't even have a place for you to comment. So they don't even want to hear what you have to say about it. So why would you do business with them? And then the other ones, they just... when you look at my blog post and you see how many shares there are a certain amount of those shares that are counted that I shared myself. I share my blog post into 3 different groups immediately. I share on G+, and I share inside of groups in G+. I share on Twitter as many ways as I can think of. So if there's 50 shares on a particular blog post, you can be guaranteed I did 10 of them myself. And it's because I did those 10 and because of the content that I'm creating that people are commenting and people are sharing. I'm involved in syndication groups where the rule is you got to come and comment. You got to read my blog and you got to comment. And I do it back. So I'm learning a lot from my peers. So what's missing from that wonderful coach, what's missing from her community is what I give. Community. There is no community. They paid once to learn. They modeled everything exactly after her. Everything looks exactly the same. It seems like they're almost the same person, except for the picture is obviously a different person. Yet That post that was there had like 300 Facebook shares and 137 comments. And everyone that was commenting on that blog was getting nothing back. There was no reciprocation. And that's huge. That's huge. So I'm hoping that maybe some of those folks, because I went and commented, will come and see my blog and understand that when you're interacting with your community, you're developing yourself in such a way. You're not only learning from each other in such a great way. You're not just learning from one guru. You're learning from several. And you're creating a buzz on the internet, because you know what Google wants to see? Comments on your blog and social shares. One of the people was actually an SEO expert and actually does that for a day job. You would never know by looking at their website. Where then, if you are so social engine or search engine optimized, then why aren't the people on Google finding you and commenting? If you go to Neil Patel's blog and you look through his posts and you click on names that people use their link in the when they write their blog post, when they write their comment, you're going to other blog posts where a lot of the same people that commented on Neil's blog is over there commenting on their blog, and they're creating this incredible community of all these professional bloggers. It's a crazy sauce. It's amazing. That's got to be done on purpose. So if you're going through a downtime in your business, a really good idea is to start syndicating. Start becoming a part of a community inside of your niche and start interacting with the people. Don't be afraid to share other people's stuff, because other people aren't you. There is no such thing as saturation in a marketplace. If you are the one that introduces somebody to somebody that they happen to like them better, that's okay. It's good karma. Don't worry about it. Let's continue on with what else Dr. Dyer. I have a star next to this one, so I better say it. When what seems like a forceful, uncomfortable situation arises, seek the natural cycle. Affirm, this is a temporary setback, and I'm going to release myself from having to be the person in control. Did you like that? Because that reminds us that sometimes that when we're in a setback and we want to exert our control on it, that we are in control of the setback, and the only way to change that setback is to let go of the control. Change your life by trusting your ability to respond naturally to the circumstances in your life. And you can change your network marketing business. You can change your e-commerce business. You can change your coaching business, whatever business you have or you are working with. Maybe you have a combination of all three. I know a lot of e-commerce people that work inside of my company and are affiliates as well, that also coach. So you can change any cycle by releasing it and allowing it to be, because there's no place but up when you're up, and there's nowhere but down when you're up. So all you have to do is just understand this and understand it in your business and do your work. Enjoy yourself even when the commission check isn't coming next week, because it's going to come the week after. There's no other way. There's always a tipping point. And there's a point of no return. And when you find yourself plateaued, that's almost the same as being low. You just keep on learning, keep on working, and it'll scale up again. Then you'll plateau again, and then maybe you'll come down again a little. Then you'll go up again. But you have to keep moving forward, just like a river as it follows through the landscape. Some places it's going to run real fast because there's going to be a lot of rocks in the water, and the banks of the river are going to squeeze in on it. It's going to move really fast. Then other places going to come out, and it's going to have a much wider bed, and it's going to move much slower. It's going to be very shallow, and it's going to go right over the surface of the land. Then other places going to come right back. It's going to be really fast. It's just the way it is, and it's okay. So I encourage you to do the down now. I'm going to tell you what Dr. Dyer says. Spend an entire day noticing nature and countless incidences that it cycles organically. Seek at least 3 ways that you'd like to be more natural in response to your life. The cat curling languidly in the sun might symbolize how you'd like to be. Or perhaps it's the dawn slowly illuminating the dark without any rush to the day. Maybe you prefer to focus on the tide comfortably coming in and out, apparently without judgment. Find your symbolic images, whatever they may be, and invite their counterparts into the Tao to bloom into your business today. This is Coach Tara Woodruff, the Mind Reset Coach. Don't forget to continue on to the blog post. That's where the fun begins at www.coachtyrawoodruff.com. And I look forward to working with you. So come on over and check it out. Thank you so much. Bye.